All right, let's jump right in. If you're running a small business, you know that gut punch feeling. You've poured your heart and soul into your work, and then boom, a fake, totally unfair, or just plain nasty Google review pops up. It's so frustrating, and yeah, it feels personal. So today, we're going to break down exactly how you can fight back. And the best part, everything I'm going to talk about, it's completely free. It's just a sinking feeling, isn't it? You see a one-star review from a name you don't even recognize, making these claims that are just completely out of left field. It feels like more than just an insult. It feels like a direct hit on your livelihood. And here's why it stings so much. A whopping 83% of consumers read Google reviews before they decide to spend their money. That means one single fake review isn't just an annoyance, it can actually hurt your search ranking, your visibility, and the trust that you've worked so hard to build with customers. Now, that feeling of frustration is exactly why some sketchy companies prey on. You've probably seen them. They promised guaranteed removal services for a massive fee. But here's the little secret they don't really want you to know: you don't need them. In fact, you never, ever should have to pay a dime to get a fake Google review removed. That's right. Google gives you a totally free, official way to handle this. You just have to know how to play the game and how the system works. So let's open up that toolkit and see exactly what you need to do. Okay, so here's the most important thing you need to understand, and it's a huge mental shift. Google does not care if a review is true or false. They're not going to be the judge and jury in your dispute. Your entire job, your whole mission, is to prove that the review breaks one of Google's specific content policies. That's it. That is the only key that will unlock the door to getting it removed. So, how do you actually do that? Well, there's a simple four-step process you can follow every single time. Think of this as your official playbook for fighting back. It goes like this. First, you're going to respond publicly. Second, you report it to Google. Third, while you're waiting, you gather your evidence. And finally, number four, you appeal their decision if you need to. And honestly, this is often the most critical step. Let's break down each one of these. Before you do anything else, post a calm, professional, public reply to the review. Why? Because getting a review removed can take a little time. And in the meantime, all your other potential customers are seeing that negative review. Your response shows everyone that you're on top of it and you're professional, and that protects your reputation while you work behind the scenes. Just keep it short and sweet and definitely not confrontational. All right, next step. You go into your Google business profile and you officially flag that review for removal. Google's going to ask you to pick a violation category. For now, don't overthink it. Just pick the one that feels like the closest fit. The really heavy lifting is going to happen in the appeal. All right, so now let's talk about the appeal, because this, my friends, is where the magic really happens. So your first report is usually just scanned by an automated system, but the appeal, that's your chance to lay out all the evidence and context for an actual human being at Google to look at. This is where you really get to make your case. And here's a fantastic pro tip for you. You do not have to wait for Google to officially deny your first report. After 3 business days, even if the status just says pending, you can go ahead and submit your appeal. This gets your case in front of a person, a real person, much faster and can really speed up the whole process. There's really no reason to wait around. When you write that appeal, please remember this piece of advice. The person reading your case might not be a native English speaker. They might not get local slang or subtle insults. So don't just say, "This person called me a crook." You need to explain it. Say something like, "The word crook implies criminal behavior, which is a baseless allegation," right? And that's obviously going to break policies. You really have to spell it out for them, though. And here's what it looks like in the real world. A weak appeal is all emotion. It's yelling, "This is fake. They weren't a customer." Things Google can't really verify. A strong appeal is all facts. Think of it like a courtroom. It says this violates unsubstantiated allegations policy, and then explain exactly how. It's calm, it's objective, and that's what gets results. So, what kind of evidence are we actually talking about here? Let's dig into some of the most common violations that you can actually prove. Okay, one huge one is conflict of interest. If you can show that the reviewer works for your direct competitor, or maybe they're a bitter ex employee, you've got a rock solid case. You'd be surprised what you can find just by checking their LinkedIn profile or the competitor's company website. The proof is often just hiding in plain sight. Next is fake engagement. This is all about proving someone is trying to deliberately manipulate your rating. So think about a sudden flood of one-star reviews all in one afternoon. Your evidence here is the pattern. Take screenshots of all the reviews that came in on the same day, especially if they're all using similar vague language. And this is a biggie. Unsubstantiated allegations. Honestly, this is your secret weapon. If a review calls you a scammer or a thief or accuses you of fraud, they've probably crossed the line. The beauty is you don't have to prove you're not a scammer. You just have to point out that they're making a serious, unproven allegation right there in the review. So as you're looking at a bad review, start asking yourself these questions. Does the reviewer's name show up on a competitor's website? Did you get slammed with 10 bad reviews all at once? Does the review literally say something like, my friend told me, because that's unsubstantiated, right? Any of these things can be the piece of evidence you need to build your case. Here's the bottom line. You're not powerless in this situation, not at all. By understanding the rules of the game and presenting your case clearly and logically, you have every tool you need to defend your business's reputation without paying a single cent to those expensive reputation management companies. And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question: removing bad reviews. That's defense, but you know what they say? The best defense is a great offense. Now that you know how to clean up the unfair attacks, what's your game plan for encouraging all of your happy customers to go out there and share their great experiences? Because that's how you build a truly bulletproof reputation. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe, and check out some of the products down below. I hope to catch you in the next video.